So good noon, Medley. Little more energy, yaar. Louder? It's your 450, so you must have all the energy that you have accumulated in the last 450 weeks. Yeah, put together one last time. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. That's lovely. Thank you very much, first of all. I think like they told in the introduction of all the presidents, somebody who can bring all the people together is Kalyan here. And he's the same person who also brought me here. Like 3 or 4 days back, he gives me a call, Gautam, urgent matter. I was like, okay, something happened to somebody or what happened? You'll need an education session. Please come to Medley. You know, the way Kalyan asked for education session was like, Gautam, rent idli or vada parcel. Please get it to Medley. You know, right? So I thought, what do I talk in Medley? You know, very, very seasoned club. Yet, there are a lot of new members here. Anybody who's less than a year in Toastmasters? Quite a lot of you, right? So I thought we'll talk about this lovely topic called Get Out of Toastmasters. Now, what can you get out of Toastmasters? Any answer? There are a lot of you sitting here. What do you think you can get out of Toastmasters?
Do I have to read it out? Get out of Toastmasters or what do I get out of Toastmasters?
However you perceive it, ma'am. So what can you get out of Toastmasters? Conflicts, sir. Vada at the end was the answer. Okay, that was MG Arun. Thank you. Any other answer? What can you get out of Toastmasters?
Whatever I aim for.
Whatever I am in for. Then?
That I can never get out of Toastmasters.
That I can never get out of Toastmasters. Nice answer. Okay. Anything else? What have you got out of Toastmasters so far?
Confidence.
Confidence? Yes.
Ribbons.
Ribbons? Yeah, a lot of them. Positivity.
Friends.
Friends. Mentees. New learnings every day.
Moments of pride.
Moments of pride. Great.
Fun. Achievement.
Fun. Achievements, right? Yes, sir?
Honda.
Bonda, yes, of course. Bonda, vada.
Good friends.
Good friends, right? There is a lot in fact that we can get out of Toastmasters, right? This is one platform which actually has a plethora of opportunities, abundance of learning, abundance of experience that it can give you. And trust me, there is nothing that you cannot get out of Toastmasters. You name a skill, I can tell you a role in Toastmasters that can actually help you get that skill upgraded or acquire that skill. There is so much for us to learn. So I'm here to talk about 5 P's today of what all can we get out of Toastmasters and how do we get the maximum out of Toastmasters. Are we ready? Yes. Now the first one that Toastmasters can give you is a process. On the whole, Toastmasters is a platform that turns you into a very process-oriented person, right? Because we have a process for everything here. You want to become a club officer, you have a process. Go through the election, get elected, get installed, assume office. You want to do the role of a TMOD, you have a process. You want to conduct a contest, you have a process. Send out nominations, appoint a contest chair, appoint a contest master. The contest master has his own set of processes, the scripts that he's supposed to read. Yes, so there is a process, there is a protocol in place for every single thing that we do in Toastmasters. And trust me, in the last 5 years of being here with this forum, it has subconsciously made me a process-oriented person. And now I look for a procedure and a protocol in everything that I do. Now, I am into events management, and whenever I do an event, I look for a process. Okay, step 1, take care of this. Step 2, production. Step 3, post-production. Step 4, financials. Now, I have established a process in my company, and if not for this platform, I wouldn't have learned the importance of setting processes and protocols. It automatically shapes you into a person who needs a process for everything, who needs a protocol for everything, who respects a process and a protocol. So that's the first thing that you can actually get out of Toastmasters, which is process. The next one, and the most important one, is a platform. Now let me tell you, this is one platform which can change your life. And I'm not telling just because I've been asked by Kalyan to say so. I'm saying it honestly because in the last 5 years, this platform has actually changed my life. And from what I've seen, it has changed many lives. And I can give you my own example. It was in my high school, I was in my class 11, when my teacher comes and asks me to give a speech on Mother's Day. A 5-minute speech about mother's love. That's all she asked for. Now I was like fully prepared. Now back then, I had to go to the internet center, refer some books, write down a big speech, a 5-minute speech. I was all ready. I went to the stage, the curtains were up. I looked at the audience and I forgot my speech. but you have audience in front of you, you've been asked to do a speech, and you have to start speaking. And I started. I love my mom. The audience thought, wow, this guy's going to probably give a great speech about mother's love. Let's listen. They came forward. And I continued. I love my dad also. The audience thought, amazing. This guy's probably going to balance both mother's love and father's love and give a speech. Let's listen. They came even forward. And I continued again. I love both my mom and dad. Now, in the same fashion, I gave a 5-minute speech, and at the end, I gave a heart-touching conclusion to my Mother's Day address. I said, friends, there are just 2 people who are important to you in this world. 1, your mom and dad. 2, your parents. Now, that's the level of English that I had. Honestly, I'm not making it up, because I've been through such places. I spent most of my life in semi-urban and rural parts of Tamil Nadu. And when I came here, all I needed is a platform and not a coaching session. I needed a platform to come here, try out, fail as many number of times, and become what I am today. And Toastmasters did give me that platform time and again. Every time I failed, Toastmasters held me high. I can give you one more incredible example of another human being that we all know of. Now, this boy joined Toastmasters in 2011, and he competed in the international speech contest at the club level. And after going through a couple of rounds, he lost it at the division. And next time when it was time for humorous speech contest, he reluctantly gave it a try, not knowing if he would make it or not. But that year, he made it to the district and won the district level humorous speech contest. And then he realized that humor is a huge strength that he has, started working on his humor every single time that he had an opportunity. And I'm so glad that I had a chance to share the stage with him a couple of times at the division level contest in table topics. And each time, he came up with something so witty that made each one of us there laugh. And today, he's one of the most celebrated comics that we all know of, none other than Alex. And I can proudly say that he's one of the most searched celebrities, not just in India, across the world. Because this morning when I checked Google, after Alexander the Great, the search results shows Alexander the Comic. I'm not making it up. You can see my email ID there. I was browsing through it. 80569 junk emails. That's me, right? And I searched it this morning, and I find that after Alexander the Great, the most searched personality with the name Alexander in the whole of this world is Namma Toastmaster Alexander, right? We can give him a round of applause. He deserves it wherever he is. He must be busy there in the US doing a lot of shows. Yeah? Right. And a third important P that you can get out of Toastmasters is people. Now, Suganti is here. I get reminded of what happened once in 2014. So I thought I'll share it with all of you. It was 2014. The district conference Ovation 2014 was going on in Goa. The table topics finals got over, and it was completely delayed. Of course, we know, back Toastmasters, always we have this delay. But of course, off late, I think we have been trying to cut it down as much as possible. When you have program chairs like Kalyan, you can't expect a delay in the recent conference. So, Ovation 2014 was running on a complete delay. The results were about to be announced. The flight for all of us was at 2:55 p.m. The conference team had arranged a bus from the venue at 11 a.m. because the venue and the conference were 56 kilometers apart. So 11 a.m., all the Toastmasters who had come from Chennai boarded the bus from the conference venue and headed to the airport. And I was wondering what I should be doing because my results have not yet come, and I thought I had done well that day. And there with me stood Suganti and Rahul Shankar, the then division governor and incoming division governor, who said, no problem, we'll stay with you no matter what until your result comes out, because we know that you did well today. And the results came out at 1:30. They announced the champion of 2014 table topics contest, Gautam Sharma. I go get my trophy, come back. Couple of people are posing with me for selfies. Suganti grabs my hand and drags me out. It's time, it's late already, come. We go there, we board another taxi, and the taxi wala has probably not seen beyond 50 kmph before. Suganti calls me and asks, Gautam, you know Hindi, right? Yes. Ask him if he wants to drive or shall I drive? Now that was the amount of tension we had, because a delay could end up in a loss for all three of us, because their flight was also at 3. But they both managed to stay with me that day, gave me the confidence. That was my first flight, and I had never flown before. Even on my onward journey to Goa, I took a bus and a train. Only the return was by flight. So I didn't know what to do. You know, first time you get into an airport, you feel like an alien. They treat you like an alien. Yeah. So they were treating me like an alien. I was not knowing what to do, but these two people stood with me that day and made sure that I was 100% comfortable, and I came back home with the trophy, with all the pride and with no tension. That's the kind of people that you get here in Toastmasters. And about this man, I've spoken a lot of times, but I never get tired of speaking about this particular person who has changed my life. One amazing human being that I'd met in Toastmasters. For people who are sitting here and who have had a chance to interact with him will know that he's one of the finest speech contest mentors that Tamil Nadu ever had in history. And if I'm standing here in front of all of you today to do a 20-minute speech, it's all because of him. Because 1.5 years into this fraternity, I was getting comfortable with a 5 to 7 minute speech format. But I was not able to really cope up with the 20 minutes education sessions or 30 minutes education sessions. And he was there. Every single time when I did a session, he would be there to call me aside after the session and to scold me with all possible bad words that he knows of. And at the end of each scolding session, he would say, I scold you now, not because you made a mistake, because I know that you can do much better. And every single time, he kept pushing me beyond my limits to do education sessions. And if a lot of clubs are inviting me today to do sessions, I give all the credit to this one man who made it happen. And let me tell you, even during his last few days when he was bedridden, his eyesight was 70-75% gone. He was not able to see things clearly. He was not able to look into his laptop. But even then, during the international speech contest, he would ask all the mentees to come home with a printed copy of the speech, use a magnifying glass to review it, and give his feedback. Now that's the kind of people that you get here in Toastmasters. People who take happiness in your success. People who feel so proud when you succeed and win a contest. Now that's the kind of people that we have here. And these people are the lessons for us to be like one of them in future. And if we all learned the value of giving back to the Toastmasters fraternity, it's from people like Karthik that we had. Now that we have seen about 3 different things that you can get out of Toastmasters, now let's look at what do you need to get the maximum out of Toastmasters. Shall we? All right. The first thing that you need is a purpose. Why did you all join Toastmasters? Now let's ask a few of us. Why Toastmasters? Yes, good morning.
Okay, so a couple of reasons. I think the main one was a fear of public speaking.
Okay.
And whenever I went on stage, I would somehow fall apart and come back crying. So it was sort of to work on that and to handle mean people in the audience like
Handle mean people in the audience. All right. Anybody else? Why Toastmasters? Why did you join Toastmasters? Be a composed speaker. Yes. Anyone else? Why Toastmasters?
Networking.
Networking. Okay. Self-confidence. Okay. I'll tell you my story of why I joined. I'll tell you. In September 2012, I joined TCS. 3 months after the training, in mid of December 2012, I was put into a boring project. And I wanted some outlet. I was looking for some recreation club in the office. Badminton club, football club, swimming club, whatever it is, aerobics, I was okay. And I was desperately waiting for something to come up. And by the end of January, I get this mail saying Toastmasters Club. And I never knew what it meant. But the name was so fancy. So I went there, I went on stage, they asked me to do a table topic speech. I failed miserably. At the end, the timer stood up and said, Gautam, you spoke for 40 seconds. I was like, fine, okay. First speech, it's the first time we are going there for TT. We spoke for 40 seconds, it's okay. But the R counter immediately stands up and says, Gautam, you had 2 small pauses and a long pause of 20 seconds. But the only heartening thing that day was the grammarian. She was so beautiful. Pooja, her name. Name changed. Now I've already promised her, I've promised her that I will never use her original name, Anita. So Pooja was there, she gave a beautiful grammarian report that was like sounding so sweet to me, sounded like a honey in my ears. She was like, Gautam, you had these good usages, these usages could have been improved, this was that. I was like, wow. of a boring project, at least 1 hour per week, I get to meet this pretty girl. And I immediately signed up for membership, no second thoughts. The next week I went for the meeting. She was not there. I went for another week. She was not there. And only later I realized that she is probably a marketing material of my club, used only for demo meetings. After that I saw her only in demo meetings, in no other regular meetings. Right? Every demo meeting she would be there as the grammarian. But then I'll tell you, slowly as I started going, I started developing a purpose for going there. Because I had to give reasons for my manager in the first place. Where are you going, Gautam? Toastmasters, Jay. You went there last week. Last week, timer, Jay. This week, our counter. Where are you going, Gautam? Toastmasters, Jay. Last week, last week, our counter, Jay. This week, prepared speaker. Right? So week on week, I had to give him a reason. I had to develop a purpose on why I was going there. And slowly and steadily, the purpose became bigger. I wanted to win those best speaker and best TT ribbons every time I went there. That was a purpose that I had. And once I started getting enough of those ribbons, I had a purpose that I wanted to win a speech contest. And when I started doing that, I wanted to go there to practice education sessions. Every now and then, I had a purpose to come back to this meeting once again. And it's that purpose which actually drives you and makes you a better person and helps you get the maximum out of Toastmasters. In fact, I was reading this very interesting book called Start With Why, written by Simon Sinek. If you have not read it, please go and read it. It indeed changes the way that you look at things. He gives a lot of practical examples of the amount of difference that a purpose can make, the why can make, right? We all know what we do here. We come here, we give speeches, we play roles, we participate in contests, we take up leadership positions, but seldom do we know why we do it. And once you know why you do it, you'll automatically start getting the maximum learning out of Toastmasters. The next thing that you need is passion. The last one, but the most important one, because it's passion that can give you quality experience. Now there is difference between experience and quality experience. Someone who's not that passionate but been here in the fraternity for even 40 years or 50 years cannot give a speech which a passionate person who has spent 5 to 10 years in the fraternity can deliver. Right? It's the passion that gives you quality experience. It's not about the number of years that you are. It's not about the number of speeches you give or number of times you get on stage, but it is about how passionately that you do it every single time. Because one day, once at least in life, we all will hit a rock bottom situation, right? Now that's inevitable. It could be financially, it could be emotionally, it could be professionally. Once in lifetime at least, we all would hit a rock bottom. And when you do that, it's this experience which will help you come up. Now I was watching this movie. It's a biopic, a little slow movie, but I really loved it. Sully by Tom Hanks in 2016. It speaks about a pilot whose both the engines lost thrust due to a bird strike. And yet he managed to make sure that all the 155 souls inside the aircraft were safe. It's because of the amount of passion that he had for flying. The man had spent 42 years as a pilot and 4 lakh kilometers on air. And it's that which helped him to make a safe landing into the Hudson River when this incident happened in 2009. This movie is based out of a true story, and Tom Hanks, as we all know, does not add much of a masala. So if you watch it, you know exactly what happened. Right? He makes a beautiful landing. He uses the Hudson River as a runway strip. And at the end, all the computers, all the simulations actually say that he could have made it to an airport. But then he says, no, my experience says, I eyeballed it. It couldn't have happened. And when they rerun the simulations with the actual human scenarios, if he had attempted to make a landing at a nearby airport, he would have crashed into a building and all 155 would have been dead. Now what saved him at that rock bottom situation? It's his experience. And what gave him that quality experience is his passion for flying. It's not just about flying for 40 years, it's about flying passionately for 40 years. So develop a passion every time you come here on stage. Fall in love with the stage is all I can tell you. Make the stage your girlfriend, right? Of course, a very lame reason for singles like me, but yes, make the stage your girlfriend. Now, this is the only girlfriend I have currently, right? So make the stage your girlfriend, fall in love with it. Be passionate and deliver each speech, deliver each role. Even if it's the role of a timer, do it with a lot of love and passion. And I'm sure that there is a lot that you can get out of Toastmasters. I would like to end with a beautiful quote by one of our past presidents of Toastmasters International, Helen Blanca, who said, if you get out of Toastmasters all that you can get out of Toastmasters, you will never get out of Toastmasters. Thank you.
We would like to ask DTM Gautam to come back to stage.
Okay.
Wait for a moment. We request DTM Alex Jacob to felicitate DTM Gautam Sharma.